Most terrifying.
Spooky story. Dad used to tell me and Liam to keep us back.
This is the story of a man named Bagman, a human who resembles a ghost. He is known for kidnapping children, earning the name Bagman because he forces them into his bag after capturing them. The child he targets, he always manages to capture. In this story, too, he is after a child. Will the family be able to save the child, or will the child become yet another victim of Bagman? The film begins with a scene of a father and his daughter playing together. The girl seems a bit worried, and her father quickly notices. He asks, "What's the matter, dear? You look a little worried. I also told your mother that our daughter has some tension. If there is something, you can tell me." However, his daughter does not say much, only that she is worried about her past but hopes that she will get better slowly. Her father assures her and asks her to wait in the car while he gets pizza to cheer her up. As the girl approaches the car, the lights begin to flicker, and moments later, they suddenly go out. She gets scared and, since her father has not returned, she decides to go check on him. She reaches the same hotel from where her father had gone to get pizza. The hotel is completely deserted, and as she moves closer, she finds her father lying on the ground, badly injured and unable to move. He appears paralyzed, his hands and feet not working. Terrified by her father's condition, she barely has time to react before Bagman appears, grabs her, and forces her into his bag. As he closes the zipper, the girl dies. For years pass after this tragic incident. We are introduced to a family consisting of Patrick, his wife Karina, and their young son. They are living a happy life. One day, Patrick's brother and Karina's sister come to visit them, as they often do. Patrick and his brother run a wood business, and Patrick proudly tells his brother about a new machine he has invented that can cut trees more efficiently, saving both time and money. His brother is impressed and believes their project will be successful. Meanwhile, Karina and her sister talk, enjoying their time together. As night falls, the guests leave. Later that night, when Patrick goes outside to throw the garbage, he notices the house lights flickering and hears strange noises coming from the forest. Thinking someone is there, he goes to check but sees nothing, making him uneasy. The next morning, Patrick goes to work at his company, where his brother is also present. While working, Patrick's brother shares that he has had bad dreams ever since their father's death, but he has managed to cope with them. As Patrick carves a wooden owl, a skill taught by their father, he starts reminiscing about his childhood. He recalls an incident when he and his brother had gone near a cave. Once, there had been excavation work in the cave, but it had since been abandoned. While standing near the cave, young Patrick saw a man emerge, holding scissors. The man suddenly cut Patrick's hair, scaring him so much that he fell. Before he could react further, the man went back inside the cave, and Patrick ran away. Back in the present, Karina is playing with their son at home. While she works on her laptop, she loses track of him, and he wanders into the forest, following a doll. When Karina realizes he is missing, she panics and searches for him everywhere. After a tense search, she finds him and feels immense relief but also guilt for not paying more attention. That night, she tells Patrick about the incident. As they discuss it, the lights begin flickering again, making Patrick suspicious. However, he dismisses it and focuses on carving the owl he had been working on. Patrick receives an email informing him that a big company has refused to lend him money. Frustrated, he angrily stabs the knife into the table, breaking it, and throws it in the trash. Later, he hears his son talking to someone in his room. When he checks, his son says he was talking to a doll, but Patrick does not see any doll. Ignoring it, he puts his son to sleep. On his way back, the lights flicker once more. Looking outside through the window, he thinks he sees someone in the forest. Armed with a baseball bat, he steps outside and challenges the intruder to reveal themselves, but no one appears. Karina joins him with their son, and Patrick urges her to go back inside for safety. The next morning, they call the police. Officers search the house and surrounding forest, but find nothing suspicious. However, on the roof, they discover pieces of wood. Patrick is puzzled because he had thrown those pieces in the trash. The police take the wood as evidence and advise Patrick to be cautious. Later, Patrick finds a wooden owl in the garbage, the same one he made in childhood. He is bewildered as he has no idea how it ended up there. He also discovers that the knife he had broken and discarded is missing. Karina mentions that their son constantly plays his flute, which makes it difficult for her to concentrate on work. She gives the flute to Patrick and asks him to hide it. He places it on a box in the warehouse. That night, while their son is bathing, Bagman sneaks in through the window. Patrick, sensing something is wrong, rushes back just in time to find his son safe. His son claims he saw a doll in the room, further unsettling Patrick. Strangely, the flute is missing. Later that night, Patrick receives an alert from the home security system about an issue with the alarm. When he checks, he finds the shed door open. Inside, he sees a doll wearing his childhood cap, which had been missing for years. Nervous, Patrick heads back to the house but finds all doors and windows locked. Looking through a window, he sees Bagman inside. In a panic, Patrick breaks the window to re-enter and rushes to protect his family. Though he searches the house, Bagman is nowhere to be found. The next day, Patrick calls the police again. The officer suggests installing CCTV cameras and asks if anything has disappeared. Patrick mentions his son's missing flute. Although the police promise to patrol the area, Patrick remains deeply unsettled. He confides in his brother about the strange occurrences, mentioning that his childhood owl and cap have mysteriously reappeared. That night, Patrick has a nightmare where Bagman takes his son away. He recalls his father telling him that Bagman kidnaps obedient, well-behaved children. Seeking answers, Patrick invites a psychiatrist to examine him. She concludes that Patrick is suffering from sleep deprivation, leading him to hallucinate. She advises him to rest and even suggests moving houses temporarily. Agreeing, Patrick and Karina decide to stay in a hotel for a few days, leaving their son with Karina's sister. That night, Karina's sister, while on a call, notices the lights flickering. Soon after, the doorbell rings. It is Bagman. Terrified, she grabs a knife, takes Patrick's son, and hides in the closet. Bagman finds them, but in an act of self-defense, she manages to wound him and escape with the child. When Patrick, Karina, and the rescue team arrive, they find her injured but alive. Patrick takes his family to his brother's house for safety. Despite Karina's reassurance, Patrick stays awake, keeping watch. However, he dozes off and wakes to see on the surveillance feed that Bagman has entered the house and taken his son. Rushing to the child's room, Patrick finds his brother and sister-in-law dead. Outside, he discovers that the police officers have also been killed, all by Bagman. Determined to save his son, Patrick follows Bagman to the cave. Inside, he finds an eerie collection of children's belongings. As he searches, he hears his son's voice from a doll, realizing he has been tricked. Meanwhile, Karina and her sister manage to rescue the real child and alert the police. Patrick challenges Bagman, who paralyzes him with a touch. Nearby, Patrick spots his childhood knife. Remembering its significance, he stabs Bagman in the neck. He also finds his son's missing flute. Injured, Patrick attempts to escape, but Bagman overpowers him, forcing him into his bag. By the time Karina and the police arrive, Patrick is gone. The movie ends with the revelation that Bagman had always been after Patrick, not his son. Bagman follows children he marks even as they grow up, and eventually takes them. In the end, Bagman claims Patrick forever. Thanks for watching.